Welcome to the 7th video of SAP Development. Today we are going to recap all the topics that we have covered so far in previous 6 videos of SAP Development. This is because we have changed the way of presentation. Now you will be watching the screen of the computer and it will be a good demonstration from now onwards. So let's start with our topics, how to get started with ABAP. You have to go to the SAP website, that is sap.com, and you will go to the help basically. So it is help.sap.com. Open it in a Chrome browser and then in the search area you just write ABAP and then click on the search button. So once you click on the search button, you will get this screen. So here, if you can see, I marked as 1, the products are coming here. The first thing is coming as ABAP. So just click on the ABAP. The next screen is like this. So here under the development icon you will find ABAP hyperlink. Click on the ABAP. You will get to the ABAP keyword documentation. So here this is the main source of SAP ABAP development documentation. You can see here there is a search bar. You can write any command and you can search it. So this is the first resource that will be very helpful in order to learn the syntax of ABAP language. Then comes the ABAP program structure. So the ABAP program structure is basically consists of a keyword in the beginning of the program, that is report. You just write the report and then space, then write the name of the report. So this is the beginning of your SAP ABAP program. So keep in mind that every line in ABAP program ends with a colon. So at the end of each line you write in ABAP program, you will end it with a colon. So you will put dot at the end of each line of the ABAP program. Then comes selection screen. This part is responsible for showing a screen for the input to the end user. The user who is going to run this program, he will get a text boxes to input the data within the program as a parameter for your ABAP program. Then comes initialization part. Initialization part is basically responsible to perform some operations on the variable before you show the input screen to the user. Then comes start of selection part. This part of program is the place from where you start writing the code that will execute after the user enter the values in the input screen. Form and end form is the syntax used to define a subroutine within an ABAP program. So the syntax is form, then you write the name of the form, and then at the end of the form you will write end form, and in between you will write your code. So that is a subroutine, and this subroutine will be called from anywhere in your program using a syntax command perform, and then you will write the name of the form. That statement, the control will jump from that statement to the first line in the subroutine. So after the subroutine code is executed, the control of the program will return back to the statement from where you perform the subroutine. So here is the format of the SAP sample program. You can see a report. The blue words are the keywords and the black color is the user defined names. So report is a syntax, then followed by the report program name. So the program name can be any text. Then we can declare global variables with the keyword data, and then we can give a name to the variable, and then type is a keyword, and then we can declare the type of the variable. So here string is a type, data type within a Ab program. So as we learned that selection screen is the syntax to declare some input parameters for the end user. So here we declare p underscore input as a parameter. So parameters is a keyword to declare the input of type string. So the user when run the program, he will get p input, a text box to enter a string in the program. This is end of screen. Then comes initialization. So the variable I declared here, GB underscore name, I am assigning a string SAP Developments to this variable. Then I am giving the default value to the parameter p input. So when the user run the program, he will see as a default value whatever I write here in the initialization p input. If I not write this or comment this, the user will get a blank box as an input. Then comes start of selection. So start of selection is the main area from where the program codes gets started, actual processing of the program where I write my logic. So here I have written perform and then subroutine name. So here I declare in this program two subroutines with form and end form. So first routine name is process, and I have concatenated GV name variable and the input entered by the user, and I have assigned to the variable GV name. So GV name is containing SAP Developments. P input is whatever written by the executor of this program. So I am concatenating and putting it back into the GV name. So the GV name at the end will contain SAP Developments and then followed by the string entered by the user. So form update, I have written form update. So here you can write any of the logic. For example, you want to save this value to the database or any logic you want to write. Then I have written form display and I want to write the output GV name. So when the Ab program comes to this statement, it will print on the screen SAP Developments and the value entered by the user. So procedural programming is one of the option, and object-oriented programming is another option. So this is somehow procedural programming. So we are writing simple statements in a program, okay, but we are organizing it in the form's subroutine shape. But in object-oriented concept, there is a concept of classes. So we define classes of each type, and then related to those classes we write the operations, methods, whatever functionality we want to write, we can write within that class. So the object-oriented programming we will cover later. First we will focus on the procedural language. Every program in SAP must start with syntax report. As you can see here, the program starts with report syntax followed by the report name. Each statement ends with semicolon. If you notice here, every line here is ending with a dot, with a colon. If you miss some colon, it will give you error. So the selection screen begin and selection screen end is the statement to mark the start and end of the screen of the input parameters. So when I run this program that I have written, the interface looks like this. So test Ab program is the title of the program. Then here comes execute button. So this screen is coming, and as I told you that when you run the program, the selection screen comes in the beginning. Then when you press execute button, at this time execute button, the start of selection will be followed. So after execute button is pressed, the program will start running from this place, perform process. Okay. So once I press this button, that is execute button, or F8 is a shortcut, it will write in the output whatever I written in the program. So I'm writing the output of the GV name variable. So the variable was having this value by default. Okay. So I wrote a concatenate statement. So it is concatenating SAP Developments with the text entered by the user. So this is the output of the program. So let's move to the next topic, that is a test environment for Ab programming practice. So this test environment, I have mentioned before that there is a website where you can go and write your test program. So sapeditor.com is the website where you can go and practice your Ab programs. So let's see. So there is a problem in the internet connectivity, saying no internet. So this part we will see later. No problem. You can visit the website and check yourself. How Ab program stored in SAP. So whenever you write a program, the SAP stored it in a database table. So all the source code exists in the database. how ABAP executed in SAP. When you write the program, save it in the database, and when you execute it, SAP fetch the program from the database and then create SAP loads. So SAP loads is basically a compilation of the ABAP program, and then the load is handed over to the JVM. JVM is a Java virtual machine. So if you want to know about JVM, you can Google it and you will find the details. So we are not covering JVM here. So SAP is taking benefit from the JVM, and the JVM is executing the program. Ab program structure we already discussed, and Ab program subroutines we already discussed, and testing an Ab program we already discussed, that once you write the program you can press F8 to execute it. So we will cover in the next video the other details of the environment where you go and you write the program in SAP environment. Thank you for watching. See you till the next video.